This video is about corn. Yeah, I literally made an entire video about corn. But more specifically, why we find it in our shit. Corn has been evolving for the last 9,000 years or so. But this isn't corn for human consumption. This is field corn for animals. Corn comes from a wild grass plant called teosinte. Originating in Mexico, corn found its way into the United States thanks to the Native Americans. The earliest corn plant was very small, but thanks to breeding by the Native Americans, pilgrims, and even scientists, we developed the corn that we know so well today. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna eat that. It's still field corn. The Native Americans found that corn grew relatively. The Native Americans found a good spot in the United States where corn grew relatively well, known today as Iowa. I think that's probably the most interesting thing I've ever heard about Iowa, to be honest. The natives liked Iowa's soil because it could be worked easily with the tools that they had at that time. An Iowa farmer today could produce a bushel of corn in about 6 minutes with the modern equipment that we have. The Native Americans, however, took about 26 hours to produce 1 bushel of corn. I live in a small town in Pennsylvania. I'm literally surrounded by corn from early summer to late fall. Corn is everywhere. In our fields, in our fall decorations, and in our shit. I have a theory as to why we don't digest corn. At least I did have a theory up until I made this video and found out what the truth really was. My theory went something like this. Corn is literally in everything. I'm willing to bet the last thing that you ate had corn listed on the ingredients. High fructose corn syrup, cornstarch, dextrose. No, you're wrong. The last thing I ate was beef. I hate to break it to you, but that beef you ate was corn-taminated. Ew, don't ever say that again. Yeah, that was stupid, sorry. 97% of American beef is corn-fed. Even the beef you buy that says grass-fed is actually corn-fed. They're fed grass most of their life, but switched over to corn feed the last few weeks to fatten them up before being slaughtered. Ooh, slaughtered, that's a harsh word. Killed? That's even worse, dude. Okay, butchered? I guess any way you say it, it's just gonna sound bad, so just move on. So my theory went like this. Because corn is literally in everything that we eat, our bodies are already so enriched in it. When we eat corn, our body says, hey dude, I think I have enough of this already. Keep moving. In theory, this theory sounds promising, but it's far from accurate. Corn kernels have an outer shell or layer containing a compound known as cellulose. Cellulose is an insoluble fiber, which basically means our body is not naturally capable of breaking it down. This is why it passes through our system and is more easily visible in our shit. So since our bodies aren't breaking these fibers down naturally and we're seeing them in our stool, does this mean that we shouldn't be eating corn? No. Cellulose only makes up about 10% of corn. The other 90% is useful nutrition. Which leads me to my next point. Corn has a bit of a misconception. People tend to think that corn has no nutritional value because it's labeled as a starch. Of course, there are other vegetables out there that offer more nutrition, but eating corn instead of a bag of chips is a much better health option. What's most important is to eat a balanced diet. Vegetables, fruits, grains, and healthy proteins. Corn is a good source of dietary fiber, and it contains an antioxidant known as carotenoids. Carotenoids are what give vegetables such as corn and carrots their color. Some studies say that they even have cancer-fighting properties. However, corn has far less carotenoids than leafy greens do. So is corn going right through our digestive system because we already are so enriched in it? No. Is corn actually even going right through us? No, we digest everything except the insoluble fibers. But it does make me wonder if we should be eating corn at all because it's literally in everything that we're already eating.